Hey, welcome back. I had a few requests on creating an interior space that does not have sharp corners. So I wanted to start this conversation out by, sharing with you a really cool technique. So I've made a set of horizontal lines, and if you want to know how to do that, you can watch one of my previous videos. I'll put the link in the description below. But I'm just going to start off really quick by using the transform tool. And then I'm going to click inside the transform tool and choose warp. Now, instead of me manually doctoring the handles for the warp tool, what I can do is I can come up to the top here where it says warp, and I'm going to choose fish. And what that does is it gives me this kind of curved shape, and I can adjust that shape by moving my cursor right above the word bend, and I can just adjust its tolerance however I see fit. And this is just one way. There's different warp subtools that you can go ahead and use, but I'm just going to keep it super simple here. So I've got this outline. Now what I want to do is I want to capture the top and bottom edges of the wall because I don't want to have to freehand that if I can help it. I mean, I could, but it's just going to take a lot more time. So what I'll do instead is I'll use the lasso tool to select the top part of the wall, and I'll hold the shift key down and use the lasso tool to select the bottom. And what I'll do then is I'll make a copy of that by hitting Command J. So now you can see that I've got the top and bottom edges of the wall. I'm still going to keep the other grids. I'm going to still keep these interior lines because I might have a use for them. But this way I've got the top part of the wall already extracted. So now what I can do is I can turn on Photoshop's grids by hitting Command single quote. And I've got a video on how you can set up your grids the way you want them, and I'll put a link to that in the description as well. So what I can do is I can start creating some vertical lines, and I'm just going to hit Command J to duplicate, like so. Merge, duplicate the merged copy. And so I use this technique quite a bit. It's just fast, easy, and it works great. So now that I have this, I can just go ahead and hit the transform tool, extend it to where it fills the entire border, and then I can now merge those two groups together, or those two layers, and now I've got my wall, right, the top and bottom of the wall, and I have this really cool grid that I can use as the basis for, say, creating like an entrance, right? I can draw that in. And if I wanted to put some objects on the wall, I've got those in proper perspective that I can then go ahead and use. So it's a pretty quick tip, and this is not the only way you can create a curved interior, but the goal of this is just to give you some areas to explore within the tool. I can't show you guys everything, but I can show you some starting elements, and you can always take it from there, and you can fine-tune it and make it your own. So I've got the wall here, and maybe what I'll do is I'll just add one more painting. Maybe this is like a museum. I can't really think of too many places that have curved hallways, maybe hotels, stuff like that. And these grids are really super helpful. And I'll leave out the detail on what's going to go in those paintings. But if I wanted to now add a ground plane, I can do that pretty readily as well. Just go ahead and create some horizontal lines. I'm putting this obviously in a separate layer. I'll toggle off my grid, and then take these lines that I've created, duplicate it by hitting Command J, Command T. I'm going through this a little bit fast only because I've talked about this in previous videos, so if you're curious about how you can make your own grids from scratch, I've covered this in quite a bit of detail in previous videos. So now what I can do is I can take both the vertical and the horizontal and just merge those two guys together, and I'll just even this out like so. And I can use my transform tool and I can choose perspective. I can just grab one of the corners here and really extend this out. And then hit return and drop the opacity. So now I've got a wall, and I can go ahead and create, you know, some kind of a floor structure pretty quickly and pretty easily with that. So say for example I wanted to have some kind of a museum object that was just sitting on the side. Maybe it's like a bust. Right? I can go ahead and do that. And those grids can help me with regards to placement of objects on the ground. And I can toggle that off, and you can see that I've got that working for you. So I hope you found this to be useful. I know some of you have been asking me about how do you create curved structures. This is not the only way, but you know, it is a way, and you might be able to play around with it and experiment with it a little bit more. You'll see the finished version of this on the thumbnail for this particular video, so you can see what the full capabilities are. So thanks so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one.